All right, gentlemen, I've been getting a lot of emails and questions from you guys asking me about the Bote Rover. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to make a video about the top 10 facts or tips that you need to know in order to purchase something like this. To be frank, I wish there was a video out there like the one I'm creating today. It would maybe help me make a better decision and giving me more information about this machine here prior to purchasing it. So hopefully this will help out you guys. Really, that's the aim of my channel and the experiences that I'm documenting on video, so you guys can see exactly what I'm going through and maybe it can apply to what you're trying to do in the future. I don't know. But two things I want to get off my chest before I start. Okay, number one, I am not sponsored by Bote at all. I purchased this machine with my hard-earned savings. Number two, this video actually might sound like I'm bashing my Rover, but that's far from the truth. That's not the case. I'm actually really satisfied with my Rover. It's doing exactly what I thought it's going to do: be efficient, be fast, and be able to fish kind of like a kayak. I can't really compare it as a kayak because it's not as agile, but I'm loving it and I'm growing into it. I do not regret my decision in purchasing this thing right here. Fact number one is price. Okay, we're not all billionaires, all right? We don't have money growing from trees. So yes, finances and what you can afford and what's within your budget is always going to be a determining factor in a lot of things that you do. Whether you buy a car, a house, or you invest in something, money is always a factor. And same thing with this, man. There's no difference. Okay, this thing is really expensive, and as I told you guys in the past, it's not for everyone. Okay, so let's break down the price for the Bote Rover itself. Okay, you're looking at $3,500, $3,500. With the Suzuki, I got the 9.9 outboard. You're looking at retail $3,000. You can get the I think it's called Hidea. That's the outboard motor company that Bote actually deals with directly. If you purchase a Bote Rover and you decide to purchase the Hidea that you can get with the Rover, I think it runs maybe around $500 on top of the cost of the Bote Rover itself. Now don't quote me, I think that's what it was. It's been a while, but I don't remember. And that's actually a really cheap way to go, and actually a lot of people do that. But the reason why I went with the Suzuki and paid more money is because I plan to travel long distances with this. And truth be told, man, I want something that's reliable. I didn't know much about that other outboard company, but I know Suzuki has been in the outboard game for a long time, a great Japanese company. 3 accessories that you guys need, you absolutely need, in my opinion, in order to start fishing from this thing. Okay, number one, you need this thing right here. This is called a grab rack, and this is going to run you $150. Without this, honestly, it's going to be really hard to ride this machine with an outboard. The second thing that you need, in my opinion, is going to be the wheel rack. That's going to run you $200. And honestly, if you don't have that, there's really no other way you can tow this thing around. I decided to go with what the company has engineered with the Bote Rover. And truth be told, okay, I'm going to be frank with you guys, this thing is a benefit, and then on top of that, it's a curse. What I mean by that is, yes, it does its job by, you know, stabilizing the Rover, and you're able to pull it around with the wheels on it. But on top of that, it's pretty useless, okay? Because once you get to the waters and you try to take this thing off, it's very hard to come off, okay? It just doesn't fall off like you think it would, all right? And then at the end of the day, when you're trying to put it on, you need actually a second person to go under and put that thing in the holes, in the scuppers, because there's no way you're going to lift that Rover up and ring it and pull it under. I mean, you get the point, right? It's just, there's no way. It doesn't work that way, okay? So you need it. It's $200, but at the same time, it doesn't work really well. All right, the last accessory that you really need, in my opinion, is you need an anchoring system. I chose to go with the micro anchor pole. This with the battery, which actually I forgot at home, the battery and the stakeout pole is going to run you a $910 extra. In my opinion, from my experience, since I've already owned a micro power pole, this is the best micro anchor system in the market. Very quiet, very efficient, does its job, and it's perfect for the Rover. I've used it a lot already on the Rover. All right, fellas, I'm no mathematician, right? But if you add all those numbers up, it comes out to be a pretty big amount, right? I need my calculator, okay, to do this. All right, just hold on a second. 7,760 bucks before taxes. I told you it wasn't cheap. Fact number 2, or tip number 2. You buy something like this and you live in the state of Texas, guess what? You gotta register it through Texas Parks and Wildlife. It cost me $59 to register this, all right? Just the boat itself, because it's 14 feet long. It's less than 16 feet. And then to register my outboard, that was another 27 bucks. On top of that, every year I have to renew my registration, and that's gonna cost me 32 bucks a year. Loading and unloading this bulky thing, okay? First of all, I already told you this thing is heavy. Without the motor, without any of the accessories, the boat itself, empty weight, is 105 pounds. Then you add something big like a 9.9, you're looking at another 100 pounds. So right there, that's 205 pounds without your accessories added to it. The weight is not in the front, it's in the back. So that makes it even more cumbersome because the weight's not evenly distributed. With the motor in the back, like I said, the weight's on the back, therefore it causes an issue with loading and unloading, and that's something I had to figure out on my own. So what I've learned is loading it from the rear end first is the best way, because if you actually do the opposite way where majority of weight is hanging off your extender, guess what? It's going to fall off your truck in the middle of the highway, and you don't want that to happen. I don't want a trailer, and I don't plan on getting a trailer. That is why I bought the Bote Rover, to be efficient and to be portable, kind of portable, be able to carry in the back of my truck without using a trailer at all, because that's another extra registration fees and maintenance with tires and all that other good stuff I just don't want to mess with. This is how I load my Bote Rover into my truck, using the rear end first. So keep up, I'm gonna go slow, okay? I'm gonna test you after this. And there you go, there you have it. Not too bad, huh? All right guys, now that you see me put the boat on my truck, let me show you how I take it off if I'm loading it or unloading it at a boat ramp. All right, fellas, so point number 4, or fact number 4, is the weight capacity of this Bote Rover. Even though it's heavy with the outboard motor attached to it, it actually can carry up to 500 pounds. Now, does that mean you can carry someone else with it? If you stay within 500 pounds, I don't see why not. Please keep in mind, that also means the motor. So my motor is taking up 100 pounds. So that means I gotta subtract my weight, and then the leftover weight has to equal or be less than 400 pounds. Otherwise, it's not recommended. Point number 5, maintenance. Making sure the prop is in working condition, making sure all mechanics are working in working condition, the spark plug, making sure your oil is level and you change it at a timely manner. All right, point number 6, wind. Wind is the ultimate enemy to my Bote Rover. The best type of wind conditions that I've experienced with the Bote Rover is less than 10 miles per hour. All right, gentlemen, point number 7, or fact number 7. This thing can get shallow, surprisingly shallow. It can draft up to 6 inches of water with all the weight that I have on it, and that's including myself, the tackle, and the motor. The website says it can draft up to 3 inches of water with the paddleboard alone. With this Bote Rover, it actually can compete head to head with the Outback, maybe even beat it. 6 inches is really skinny, guys, really, really skinny. This thing from the factory actually comes with fins, because foremost, Bote has designed the Rover to be a stand-up paddleboard, and it does pretty good for a big stand-up paddleboard. They well engineered it. Look at the V-shaped hole, look how sharp that is. It really, really cuts through the water. If you can't use the outboard motor because it's too skinny, well, have no fear, it's a great stand-up paddleboard. And I was talking about the fins just a second ago. I've actually reached out to Bote because I didn't know this, okay? The fins that come with the Bote, they recommend not to use it with the outboard. Point number 9, another important point is you won't be able to go full throttle with a Bote Rover on the Texas Upper Coast as you can do it like in Florida. We all have different bodies of waters, and that's something that you actually really don't think about until you actually put it in your own backyard and you figure that out. There's so many different depths. It can be deep, like up to 8 feet, and all of a sudden be less than a foot. And if you run your outboard in less than a foot of water, well, guess what? You're going to mess it up, man. You're going to mess it up. Point number 10, or fact number 10, is go rent one. If you can find one in your area, especially the Bote Rover, rent one, man. Demo it, see if it's for you. If you can't, if they don't have a Bote Rover, try to demo a regular stand-up paddleboard, SUP. See if you can fish from it. See if you can handle the characteristics of a paddleboard, because you can't compare this to a kayak. It's not apples to apples. It's pretty much like apples and oranges. And that's probably the most important tip I can give you guys, is go demo it. See if it's for you, man. See if it'll work for you before you drop this much money on something. Once again, I don't regret my purchases. I'm very, very happy with the Bote Rover, that it has its own place in my fishing arsenal. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm learning. I hope to pass that experience to you guys, man. I really hope these videos are helping, man. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a long video, but I really, really am hoping that I'm transparent and you guys are learning something from my experiences. But anyways, I'll catch you guys next time.